That is what we have come to expect from the Iron Bowl as Alabama finds a way to win this thing 27-20 that went all sorts of topsy-turvy. Was not by any stretch Ty Simpson's best game of the year. Far from it, in fact. I saw this ball going each and every way. Saw Ashton Daniels playing his behind off. Saw Auburn coming up with plays they haven't come up with all year. DJ Durkin did a great job coaching this team as an interim. Defense was getting after it. At the end of the game, though, it was the Broyles Award semifinalist, Kane Womack's defense, who came up with the definitive play to win the game for Alabama, 27-20, to punch their ticket to the SEC championship. Well, they will have a rematch against Georgia on a neutral field after beating Georgia earlier this year at Sanford, the only team to do it. Now they got to do it twice. What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Did you think that Alabama was going to find a way to pull this win out? Because there was a moment when I don't think that it was out of the question that even Bama fans are going, are we really going to blow this game to a 5-6 Auburn team who is looking every bit like they're going to get the bowl eligibility and scuttle our college football playoff hopes all in one fell swoop at Jordan-Hare? And it came close, man. At one point, I'm looking at this game, and it feels like Alabama's very much got this thing under control. It is 17-0, moving right along. Could get this game up to 29-0. You know, I'm going, all right, there's a freak play there. There's a freak play there. But 24-0 was very, very much in play for me on this. But it wasn't to be, because Auburn decided to fight back and fight back and fight back. And at 17-13, it looks like, okay, Auburn's got the momentum here, because they score with just a minute into the second half. And once again, Ashton Daniels looks great, throwing the ball all over the yard. This one was to Malcolm Simmons for 64 yards. Didn't really see that coming with the Alabama defense, the way they've been playing the last few weeks. And then with 11:43 left to play, it's 20 up. It's tie ball game. And it feels like it can go either way here. Then you get Auburn, got the ball. Ashton Daniels is making plays, making it happen for a team that we probably should have been starting for the whole time. Finishes the game 16-37 for 233 and another 108 on the ground. Again, played his behind off. But the solo TD. And then you get the ball to one of your best players. I would argue it is your best player in Cam Coleman, who finally gets an opportunity to make a dent on this game after not doing much. And what's he do? He fumbles the football. Fumbles the football as you're trying to go down the field to tie this game up 27 up after Bama rolled the dice on fourth and got to have it instead of kicking the field goal to go get 7 and force Auburn to try to go the length of the field to score on them. That's ballsy decision by Kalen DeBoer, but he has always been the guy who is going to put the ball in his quarterback's hands and his players' hands and say, hey, you guys want to go win the football game, go win the football game. And I think Kirk here, Herbstreit has a tendency to be very positive on these broadcasts and not really look at what we all think of as a thing you need to point out that's negative. But I think he's right about this. Kalen DeBoer won so many players and future players with that play call. It was, I'm putting the ball in the hands of my players to go make plays. This is a game where players make plays. Coaches and their schemes don't win it. Coaches and their contracts don't win it. Fans don't win it. Players on the field do. And the last thing you want as a player is to be told by a coach, hey, I really just want you to sit down somewhere right now. You know, I want to just kind of roll, just kick this field goal. I don't want to put my best players out on the field to go try to make a play when the game is on the line. That's not what any player wants to hear. And that's what he got. Again, it wasn't a great game by Ty Simpson, but it was the game he needed to have. He was 19 of 35 for 122 with 3 TDs, man. It was not good by any stretch of the imagination. Jam Miller played an outstanding game, 15 rushes for 83 yards, no touchdowns on this. Again, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, is there anything else that Auburn could have done besides hold on to the football? No. And again, the game went up and down, back and forth, all back, side to side. I really felt bad for this Auburn team that felt like it was rounding into the form that it was showing earlier in a different way with Hugh Freeze. Remember, this is a top 25 team when they played Oklahoma way back in September. And it's running a different kind of offense. It's got a different kind of mentality. It's very clear that Hugh Freeze had missed on Jackson Arnold, believing that he could run the RPO scheme with the P being a bigger part of the scheme, and it just was not working. They were a running football team with Jackson Arnold. And then you get Ashton Daniels in here, who had transferred in from Stanford, but nobody was sure was ever going to see the field. And he turns out to be the Diego Pavia of Auburn football here the last few weeks. Like, I was really impressed by what I saw from him. And no matter who the new head coach is, I think that guy is going to be a starting quarterback somewhere next year. He's just that good. And when I look at this Auburn team, and I have to ask this question, honestly, what happens if Ashton Daniels had been starting for them the whole year? Because look at this, man. Against Vandy, he 31 of 44 for 353, right? And against Alabama, I mentioned it. He had over 300 yards of total offense. He plays more games for you. I mean, he had that bad game against Kentucky, but he plays more games for this team. Do they round into a different kind of team? And do they get to bowl eligibility, right? But no matter who your head coach is, you always want to play postseason football. You want to get into a bowl game, and this was an opportunity to do that just kind of fell through their hands. And a game that Alabama had to win to get the SEC championship. And again, this is a game that if they lose, they don't have a shot at making the college football playoff. And you know what? They still might. They lose to Georgia. I don't know that the committee is going to look at Alabama and say that's still one of the 12 best teams in college football. I don't even know if it's a top 10 team after that. They'll need to win it. Otherwise, you got a Vanderbilt team that's got a really strong resume after beating Tennessee like they stole something today. You got a Texas team with a really strong resume, but 9 wins to 10 wins for Vanderbilt. You go up and down that league, and you can find players. Oklahoma tried to squander that opportunity earlier today against an LSU team that's not as bad as Auburn, but certainly wasn't as good as Oklahoma had shown itself to be in recent weeks. And once again, the defense had to bail out the offense so it could put the offense in a position to run routes on air against an LSU secondary that just forgot what their assignments were. Isaiah Stango running wide open downfield. It's enough of what you needed to do. And what I found more interesting about this game is that all day long, many of us have been going, what the hell happens to Lane Kiffin? And why isn't Lane Kiffin making a decision now? It turns out he's probably made that decision. Everybody in their mama seems to believe that LSU is where he is going. It's just whether or not Ole Miss is going to let him coach in the college football playoff. But had they made the SEC championship game, do you really want to turn the reins over to, let's say, Joe Judge a week before you got to play Georgia? It would have been in the SEC championship game, a game you lost. Or are you willing to roll the dice and let him walk and give the interim the opportunity to coach in the postseason? This is an interesting thing, but it also piqued Lane Kiffin to be holding up rivalry week with his contract. This $100 million or that $100 million.